I know we've got lots of time here together this morning. I know that you already heard from my two colleagues here, and it's great to see them. Thank you, Craig, for the invitation. I should say my name is Max Blackman, and I'm Senator Sherrod Brown's representative in Northeast Ohio. And so as his point of contact here for the region, what is most important is to hear from all of you about your priorities. And everyone in this room is aware that we are still facing a very difficult economic situation. We have employment hovering at least around 9%, and it looks like it will do so for the foreseeable future. There are a number of significant debates going on in Congress. The House of Representatives, where a vote was taken, in fact voted down the extension of the debt ceiling. So I just want to say a few words about Senator Brown's priorities, and then I really want to hear from all of you, because this debate will unfold over the next several months. Senator Brown is an appropriator. Many of you know Senator Brown was appointed to the Senate Appropriations Committee toward the end of the last Congress, and he did retain that seat here in the current session. And so he's going to have quite a to say about how the federal government is going to be its money. But here's my broad point. There's been a lot of debate, a lot of talk over the last, I would say, 8 or 10 months at the very least about the federal budget, particularly the federal budget deficit and the national debt. And those are a very reasonable conversation to have. We have a long-term debt challenge that needs to be addressed. But what Senator Brown believes is that we do not force a starvation diet on the American people in the middle of an economic recession. So at a time when folks on the other side of at least the partisan political aisle, the ideological aisle, are moving to slash and burn federal programs, particularly focusing on the 12% of the federal budget that is discretionary. That's, of course, the non-defense, non-entitlement spending. What the senator is saying, that's where the social programs are, that's where the economic development programs are that are going to help to prepare workers for their next job, that are going to help to create jobs in any number of ways, whether you take a look at critical programs like the Community Block Grant that's used as an economic development tool, that's also used as a community development tool that helps people to lift themselves up. There are so many components to that 12% piece of the federal budget pie that we certainly don't have enough time to talk about it in 2 hours today or in my brief 2 minutes here right now. But what I will say is this. We need to have a balanced approach to the way that we're looking at getting our federal budget deficit, our long-term debt under control, but also making sure that we are making the strategic investments as Americans that are going to make our nation competitive, and most importantly are going to continue to build and sustain our middle class. People are facing real challenges in this country, and now is not the time, again, to be cutting the kinds of workforce programs that are going to be helping them to get back on their feet, or cutting the sorts of social programs that are providing, again, critical needs to the underserved in this country who are facing a worsening situation. So from Senator Brown's perspective, we do need to make hard decisions. And we do need to come to the table on a bipartisan basis, again, to address some of these longer-term challenges that we face. But in the short term, the greatest challenge that we face is the need to create jobs in this country, the need to put people back to work. Because ultimately, the most important thing that we can do to address what some would call a fiscal crisis is to get our economy back on track, to get our economy humming. We remain the most prosperous, the wealthiest country, the most innovative country on the face of the planet. And you have people out there saying that we're broke. Well, you know what? The United States of America is not broke, and it's not a responsible thing to say. We are not broke. We remain the most prosperous, the wealthiest, again, the most innovative country in the world, with the most opportunity for future growth and to continue to lead the world. And that's what we need to do, and that's why the senator supports a national manufacturing strategy and real investments in advanced manufacturing to help get regions of the country like Northeast Ohio, like the broader industrial Midwest, humming again. And we have that potential. We have the educational institutions to make it happen. We have the regional economic development leaders. We have the local communities like the city of Akron collaborating to make these kinds of things happen. So from Senator Brown's perspective, again, and I'll just conclude with this, we're all in this together. And there's a lot of work that we have to do as individuals to, again, get our economy back on track. But now is not the time to take drastic and irresponsible measures for some sort of short-term ideological gain when we have very serious problems to solve for the American people. So you can count on Senator Brown to be fighting every single day for the kinds of programs that are going to grow our economy, that are going to get our economy back on track, that are going to create jobs in communities like Akron, communities like Springfield, communities like Lima, all across this great state of Ohio, and to make sure, again, that we are taking a responsible approach that's going to give us what we need in terms of our economy, in terms of job creation in the short term, but also bring us to where we need to be in terms of bringing our deficit under control. And actually, I would just add one point. The most significant budget deficit reduction measure that's been taken in the last decade is the passage of health reform in the last Congress. And for all the talk and for all the noise and all the hot air, the bottom line is that is a piece of legislation that over 20 years is going to reduce the federal debt by $1.2 trillion. And that is not a number to sneeze at. So very happy to hear from all of you today. I appreciate your coming out. It's great to see so much civic engagement. I always enjoy the opportunity to speak with this group and to exchange ideas. And certainly I'll look forward to hearing from all of you and taking back what I hear to Senator Brown. So thank you all very much for the opportunity to be here today.
Thank you very much. We have quite a few people who wish to speak today. So because of that, we're going to have some ground rules that we're going to enforce pretty strenuously. And these will be the ground rules that we will follow today as we present our testimony to the representatives of our representatives. First of all, those that would like to speak, please sign up on the sign-up sheet. I have some here. If you haven't signed up and you would like to speak, please see Greg Coleridge in the back, and we'll get your name on this sheet. We will call the names in the order in which you signed. In order to respect everyone's time and to assure that everyone has equal opportunity to present their testimony, you will be limited to 3 minutes to present your testimony. And we have Joe up here in the front. He will hold up a card when you're down to 1 minute, and he'll hold up a card when you have 30 seconds left. And when he holds up 0, you need to be wrapped up, or I will be rude and interrupt you, and you will be ended, okay?
And she will.
I will, and I don't mean to do that, but there are a lot of people that want to speak, so we want to be able to give everyone an opportunity. 3, we do encourage written testimony, but it's not required. If you have prepared written testimony, we invite you to give a copy of that testimony to our designated person right there, Willie Smith, after you have presented your testimony. If you put your name on your testimony, that will help us make sure we know who gave that testimony. The point of our collecting the written testimony is that we are going to copy all of the written testimony that we received today, and we are videotaping the testimony. We are going to present copies of all that is said today to each of our representatives in the next couple of days after we get it copied, and we'll get it all delivered.
And to Portland.
Pardon?
And to Portland.
Yeah, right, all of our representatives that are here, and to Senator Portman also. I meant to include that. We remind you that your testimony should be germane to the federal budget. That is what these folks are here to listen to. Your opinions about the federal budget. So we're not here, this is not the forum today, although local issues and candidates and things like that are important, this is not the forum today. And finally, thank you for taking your time to present your comments about the federal budget so that our elected representatives can consider what we have to say before they take action on our next federal budget. Those are the ground rules, and we are going to begin with some already videotaped testimony from representing basically the youth of the area. A lot of the younger people couldn't come today with like that. So we are going to start with a 5-minute little video of testimony that has already been videoed representing the youth of our area. Although, yikes, I don't know how to turn this on. Oh, there we go. Oh, thank you. All right.
Hello, my name is Chaz James, and I attend Archbishop Hogan High School. And what I feel about the budget that is being sent each year is totally irresponsible and careless. 1% of money going to labor is wrong, and that is why a majority of people